Hello and welcome. Let's find out what happens to you when you're upset.
Unpleasant environment around
Okay.
where myself in any case is not happy, and then since I'm into the reactive mode, so then
Mhm.
people around me are obviously whatever they want to say, I'm not listening because I'm listening myself only. So I
Yep.
will be basically listening them half, and then this will be like going to the like arguments, and then this will be the next stage. And then you say, and second is basically people who have said or who have added the fuel to basically what is not happening now, that is also adding to that. So at the end of the day, this is a accumulation of lot of conversation in the mind. That's an upset situation for me.
I get upset under two circumstances. One is when somebody is talking to me and is not ready to listen, is only trying to, come down heavily with their words. So it's a one-way conversation. That kind of upsets me, drives me out, and I keep quiet and I retreat. Second is even more interesting, which I have no answer to. Second is there is no particular reason. There is no specific pattern. I can get upset, if somebody tells me something which is just out of the way, or it has nothing to do with the deal with the present situation, or just adds on one more task to my list, or just asks me for something when I'm doing something else. But for I can't reason why, like a flash, that irritation comes into my eyes, and obviously the energies around me get tensed, and I'm sure they pick it up. So this is the kind of tension or upsetness which I am not able to understand, and I'm not able to shed, which I would like to shed.
Yes, I'll get upset if someone says something without my fault or anything, and they're not even ready to listen or understand from my point of view what is it. So I'll get very upset, I'll get angry, and I'll go in a very emotional state and start crying by myself. Or I could, and later on you just dwell it on it, dig it and more. I should have said something. I should have done that way. Or I should have said
So,
this
what
thing.
happens to you
It
when you are
goes on
upset?
like that.
And what happens to others when you are upset?
Upsets. I my uh, my brain, my mind, the rational mind stops working. I don't know. I go somewhere and then I lose my proper thought process, and the people around me, they get anxious, they get fearful, and they try to be away from me.
All been dealing with our upset since we were children. Now, it's not important that there are upsets or not. We are going to be having upsets. You know, as long as there is life, there will be upsets of some type or the other. But what is the impact of that upset on you? And what is the impact of the upset on others around you? That's very important. So if I go back to my old history, when I was getting upset with my father, right? Or rather, when he got upset with me, and at a very early age, I started believing he doesn't love me. Okay? And I had a very strange way of trying to get his love and respect. I realized that it was more like he doesn't think I'm anything. मैं बिल्कुल नालायक हूँ. So I had my own ways of trying to establish myself. Now, where was it coming? From a very deeply set upset. At another point of time, I got upset with a servant in our house, and I hit him, and I got a nice thrashing from my father. And then my mother said to me, good boys don't get angry. So that created another reaction in me, that when I got upset and angry, I had a tendency to suppress it, and that would make me even more upset and frustrated. Okay, so we have a long-standing relationship with upsets. So sometimes we will avoid things, So if we suspect, if I do this, no, it will cause an upset. So better to avoid it. Like I have a friend of mine. He is a son of a very senior army officer. Of course, now he's in in America and all that. But almost for 25 years after finishing his law degree, okay, that guy was not able to do anything because every time he wanted to do something different, the fear that his father and mother would get upset, okay, would make him not even try it. So I used to keep telling him, Sidhu, do it. You will never know until you do it. They'll get very upset. They are very old. I don't want to upset them. So he wouldn't do it. All right. So there are all sorts of ramifications about upsets. So I thought, let's look at upsets in a very clinical way. Okay. Now we cannot avoid them. We've had them. They are our companions. They will be there till the rest of our life. So if you can find a way to identify what is causing an upset and quickly deal with it. Okay. The important thing is knowing why the upset is there and dealing with it as quickly as possible before it becomes worse. So for many of us, the tendency is not to deal with it at that time, obviously, because we are so upset. So when you try to deal with an upset, when you are upset, it's going to be worse. The expressions of an upset is anger, no?
Okay, what I'm
When you're upset, you may not always show it in the form of anger. Like Kirtana said, I start crying. Right?
Yeah,
A lot of people, they get upset, they become very quiet, They will go into their room, not talk to anyone.
Right, that's what I usually do. If the opposite person is more powerful with respect to position or wealth or anything, maybe I would become upset.
Yeah.
People are lower party, then maybe I can show anger.
Okay, so upset, look, any state which is not your normal, happy state, I would call it an upset. How you are expressing during the upset, you could express in anger, you can express in tears, you can express by going quiet and going into your shell or going into your room or turning inside and feeling frustrated. That is called expression of your upset. Yeah? You got that?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much for asking. Anybody else, you have a question about this? Do you always know that you are upset? Because, upsets can be overt. Like if you are angry or sad, these are overt. So, now I'm angry. So these ones, at least, you know that you're angry or you know that you're upset. But there is another state which is very covert. You don't even know that you are upset. Other people may be thinking there's something wrong with you. So anybody wants to share something about that? These covert upsets, which are not so much visible to you. So go ahead. Because this kind of upset is very important for us to recognize because it is very, very subtly in the background, draining us of our energy, and it is not allowing us to work at our peak.
Yes, sir. Can I share?
Yes, Kirtana.
Yes, sir. Sometimes it happens with me. I know that something bothering me, but I don't know that. I don't even realize that. My mother comes and says, there's something wrong. Are you dull? Are you upset? Do you have headache? She asked me. I said, what happened? No, you're different.
Exactly. So my question to all of you is, what are the symptoms? You understand what's the symptom? If you see a symptom, then you recognize that there is something wrong. So doctor looks at your symptom and he diagnoses a disease. So what are the symptoms of an upset? An upset which may be covert. It's not like overtly visible to you.
Can I add?
Yes, certainly, Sandeep.
Yeah, I believe covert is a state where we keep the things under the carpet. I get upset and then I say, let's not react it. And then should I stay with it? And then you're not able to express it. So
Yeah,
it's
so I'm
silently.
not asking you what do you do, Sandeep. Thank you for this also. What you just said is useful. But right now it will be useful to tell me that what are the symptoms such a person will be showing when he's having a covert upset. He's upset. Okay.
But it
not
means, yeah, I think the normal symptom is basically that I'm not behaving like normal.
Exactly.
I'm not behaving like usual, basically who I am. So if I'm smiling normally, But with like a small like a good morning, if I'm not giving that smile, person thinking like, what happens to you? Are you okay?
So that's the first symptom, that you're not behaving like you normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the other symptoms?
Other symptom is something like that I'm doing like what I normally don't do. So I get indulged into like something to distract myself, and then see people like, why are you doing all these things? Is it
Okay.
required really?
I guess not. Okay. So carry on.
Yes.
Sandeep. Okay. Fine. He's come now. After
Sir,
that, Purnima.
the one most common symptom of upset is that there's immediately a lack of happiness felt by the person.
Okay. So
And that could be manifested in various forms. It
now,
could
what
be,
would be visible? What would be visible to others, or what would you be seeing in yourself?
that is what I'm trying to say, that it will be manifested in more than one forms, depending upon the situation and the person.
Yeah, can you say what those forms are?
It could be indifference, it could be anger, it could be violence, or it could be solitude, or whatever. Multiple manifestations they happen.
Right. Good. Thank you.
Can I say?
Purnima wanted to say something. After that, you can. Jinesh, mute yourself, please. Thank you, Jinesh. Yeah, Purnima.
Yes, sir. One way may be, if I'm upset with the person, then when interaction happens, instead of giving direct answers, showing it somewhere else, like, I have seen this many times happening from others. Like, I do something, and for that, instead of giving the direct answer or direct replies, it will come from somewhere else in a negative form and affect. The same maybe I might have done. So this is one way of showing the negative responses to everything because I'm upset on that person.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Vinay, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I think there are 3-4 things for the covert thing. Yeah. You will be having no attention. Like, you will not be in present. You will be just keep on thinking something, wandering around, and there will be lack of focus. That's what I think.
Right.
Low energy, you can say. Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So I think Arindam is back again. I hope you can hear us. Arindam, if you can unmute and say something to us. And a very warm welcome to you. We are meeting you for the first time. Or at least you can put something in the chat box so we know that you're listening. All right, never mind. Okay, Nirmala, upset makes you leave the situation to adjust. Okay, that could be another one. So let me share with you some of the symptoms which will help you. Atul, you wanted to say something? So you can. Go ahead. Atul? Never mind. So it will help you to identify, what these people are saying. Number one, you may want to avoid the company of people. Okay. If somebody cracks a joke, you may not even laugh. You're not your usual self. You'll feel a little low. Okay. Now, a lot of times these upset happens for no reason, and a lot of times it even happens when, let us say, you haven't actually had an upset with anyone. So when you have an upset with someone, at least you know, na, because of this person I'm getting upset. So a lot of times these covert upsets are happening and you don't even know why it's happening. You're just not feeling normal. How many of you have had this experience in your life? Okay, Ram Murthy, and who else? Others can, unmute and say something. Okay, very good. Some people are putting something in the chat box. Let us see. Right. Okay. No rhyme or reason. Suddenly you're feeling low. Okay, very nice. We have a tendency to pick up other people's upsets. It doesn't belong to you, but you are subtly getting influenced by other people's feeling and you're picking it up. Those who have raised little babies, you will know that, when the parents are upset, the babies pick up the vibration and they started crying. You understand? So we pick up the vibrations of others also sometimes, and there are techniques to deal with that because you're just feeling upset for no damn reason. Okay, good. So shall we move on? I will ask Mr. Arindam once again. Arindam, if you are able to hear us, you say something in the chat box, or if you'd like to share or introduce yourself, you can do that now. Okay, now cause of upsets. What makes you get upset or what makes somebody upset? So we're now coming to a part that, okay, there is an upset. Okay, either you are upset or somebody else is upset. So it's always useful to know what the cause is, and if you know what the cause is, then you can do something about it. Okay? Of course, a lot of times some people get upset and you're just thinking, okay, what did I do? I don't know why they're upset. And if you ask them, why are you upset? They'll say, don't you know? You should know it. You don't know what you did. That can also happen, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's very useful to know the cause of an upset. Okay. And the causes are usually, number one, that, what is this? Yeah. Every time somebody comes in, it could be a broken promise. So somebody you get upset because somebody promised you something and they did not do it. It works the other way around also. You promised something to someone and you did not do it. Now this is a very tricky area because a lot of times you never actually promised, or you may have implied a promise. Okay? But a promise is expected, it's of course that you are my husband, this is your promise to me. So I want people to quickly share an example of you getting upset or somebody getting upset because there was a broken promise. So I would like to do that. Quick.
Not
Yes,
coming
Ram.
on time. Not coming on time.
Yeah. It makes somebody gets upset.
Yeah.
Okay. Some other example.
Promising
So-
kids that we will take them out, and because of some work pressure can't do it, so they are
upset.
Yeah.
Okay, any other example? I am especially looking for examples where actual no promise was made. Okay, but it might have been implied. You know what's an implied? When you're giving interview and you say, sir, I'm expecting this much, this much. So they'll say, okay, we will give you this much right now, and then we will see at the time of confirmation. Okay. When they say we will see, what is it? It's an implied one. They never promised you, but you are thinking that they have promised you. So do you have any examples of that? There is an implied promise and they're getting upset because.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone else is speaking.
Yeah, one example is that if I'm doing a very good work or hard work, I can say in my organization, and other person is getting the promotion, that could be the one.
Yeah, so there is.
I'm expecting that I should get raise or promotion at the end of the period, but somebody else could got it. That could.
Yeah,
that's
so
one
it is not, nobody made any promise to you.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the next category of upset, by the way. That unfulfilled expectation, as you know very well. I'm talking about sometimes there are these implied promises. Okay. Like a lot of husbands will ask.
So I have one incident.
Yeah, tell me. Who is
Yeah,
talking?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, go
I think
ahead.
someone else is also trying. Should I go
Okay,
ahead?
you do it first, yeah.
Okay,
Then
thank you.
Kirtan after you.
There was one incident where in a friend circle there was a big party was going on, so some catering arrangement had to be done. Since nothing was working out, I took a lead by saying I'll get it done. Everybody agreed, and I went to my contacts and got the best deal. Everything was done. Just an hour before I could go and pay the advance to confirm the deal. Something happened within the rest of the group members. I don't know what they decided. Suddenly they came and said, no, we are canceling this. We will try something else. It was like for me, with the contact whom I.
You're muted yourself.
Sorry. He was a very good businessman and had given a really good deal because I had gone to him many times. I had given him business many times. And after this, I felt really like, I couldn't face him that, once I had told that this business is coming to you and they suddenly dropped it off. And I felt that my contact with him also got loosened. And on the other side, my friends kind of, it's not fair for them to do that way.
Okay, but do you notice the impact? So you were upset.
Yeah. On
you were
both
yourself
sides.
upset, and because you were upset, you cannot face that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you for sharing that. And Kirtana.
Yes, actually, a lot happened with me in that way, implied, because I'm working as a HR, and my boss is in tendency to giving all these implied promises. Okay, based on your performance after probation,
we will see.
we'll see. And because that doesn't happen, so people come and express all that anger or upset things on me or with me. So it's kind of like. And because of that, I will also get upset.
Yeah, it's an implied promise. Most dangerous ones don't do that, and especially if you're doing it at home with your husband or wife or your family and children, especially. A lot of times we'll tell them, "Na, arey, so you work hard, yaar, mehnat karo, dekhenge exam mein pass karo na, acha hoga." That he passes the exam, good marks, and he's saying, "Okay, now, Papa," you say, "You didn't get good marks. I thought you will come first. You came fifth." But it was not a clearly, it's very important. I tell you, if you want to avoid upsets, be very clear about your understanding of the promise that somebody has made. Okay.
Yes,
so I promise you something. If somebody is saying, you better ask him, okay, what exactly are you promising? Better, no?
Yes,
Less chances of upset. And if you're promising, you tell them exactly what you're promising. Let there be no ambiguity. Now we do leave it because we are afraid to make promises. You should be knowing that very well. Because most of us have a very good record of breaking the promises. So we don't have confidence that we will keep our promise. So we make a promise in a very wishy-washy manner. Okay. And that leaves a lot of ambiguity and a lot of people are getting upset about it. Okay. Next. Oh God, this is really terrible. There is some problem with the Zoom, It's not very friendly with PowerPoint.
Please don't get upset.
These are just thoughts, sir. Let it go.
Discreated.
This is one of the implied promises.
Yeah, then it should work properly. Okay, the second one is called the unfulfilled expectation. Okay. So why do we get upset when somebody breaks a promise? Because the moment he makes a promise, we have an expectation. So that's one kind of an expectation. Now I want you to look at, thank you. So unfulfilled expectations. See, what is it that you're expecting? The other person may be knowing it or not. Okay. The bigger problem is that they don't even know that you're expecting it. So Mia Saab, husband coming home and he's expecting I will get a hot food on the table as soon as I come in. Right? Nobody promised him that. And he comes home and he sees that, the food is on the table, somebody's put a lid and left it over there. And he's expecting a garam khana hona chahiye tha. Okay? It's an unfulfilled expectation. So he's a little, aaj fir thanda khana padega. And if you talk to the other person, say every day the burger comes home late and he expects me to heat the food and give it to him. So is there a clear understanding about that? So now just think about all your upsets that take place. How many unfulfilled expectations are there? And when people are getting upset with you, Have you any idea what is the expectation that is not getting fulfilled? Unayan, it may be very useful to think about one particular upset which happens with a particular person. Is it because of broken promise or unfulfilled expectations? You know, there is one very interesting expectation that we have, that our children should fulfill all our expectation. That is our expectation.
Yeah, if I can share, sir, this has happened this morning, and I was expecting my daughter Zaima to get up and join 5 a.m. club, and she was sleeping. So I got, for a few moments, I got bit, my emotions, I was a bit.
Yeah.
So
So did she promise you?
She had promised she'll wake up, and she did not. So
yeah, so it's a broken promise also.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the things, I've been inquiring into this for myself in my life. You tell me, we have an expectation that people should fulfill our expectations. Don't you think so? Sometimes they may, sometimes they may not. I mean, the reality is, but our expectation is what? It's not a conscious thought, but in our inner self somewhere, they should fulfill my expectation. Like when they were born, they promise you that every time we will fulfill your expectations. I think we have it with our parents also, they should have fulfilled my expectations. Parents always have it with children, I don't know why. They think that their children are born to fulfill their expectations. Children are born to fulfill the parents' dreams. Is that right? So think about this expectation business. Now, one more thing I want you to think about is that whenever you have an expectation, do you have a realistic expectation? If you have an unrealistic expectation, you will always be in a state of upset. So can you give me a few examples of unrealistic expectation? I'll give you one example. All right. The example is an expectation कि मियाँ बीवी में कभी झगड़ा नहीं होना चाहिए. That's a bloody unrealistic expectation. Husband and wife should never fight. Another unrealistic expectation may be children should never argue with their parents. Or people should not argue with me. Like I know one guy, he's a big shot fellow in a company, and I met him in Kolkata. And his expectation is that nobody should disagree with me. In other words, his expectation is everybody should agree with me. So anybody who disagrees with me, he's a bad fellow, or usko main seedha karunga. So think about it. What are the unrealistic expectations that you have which makes you upset? So I'd like a few people to share about this. What are the unrealistic expectations that you have which makes you get upset? Yes, Sandeep.
People should be fair. It should be good, which is actually not a realistic expectation.
Yeah. Why is it not realistic?
Because we are not created like this. Everybody has a different way of working, and then everybody can't be good.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing that. Jinesh Jain has raised his hand. So thanks, Sandeep. Jinesh, go ahead. Don't take too long, please. Hello? Jinesh, bye. Okay, I don't know who's the other person who raised the hand.
Yes,
I cannot.
sir, there I am. I'm there.
Yes, Jinesh. Yeah, bolo jaldi.
Yes, sir. Expectations cannot be kind of curbed that this person won't have any expectation with this boss, wife, son.
My question is simple. Please answer the question. What is the unrealistic expectation that you have? Everybody has some unrealistic one, like Sandeep just shared. Do you remember what Sandeep shared?
In two words, I believe that I am a Puritan, and the rest ones are also expected to be the same. Even if I kind of slip once or twice, that's okay for me, but for them, it's not allowed.
So that's an unrealistic expectation. Very good, very nicely identified. Okay, thank you. Jinesh, mute yourself. Who was the next person who wanted to speak? Please unmute and speak.
Yeah, so one unrealistic expectation I had is the people close to me should understand my feelings even without expressing
People
in
close
words.
to me should understand my feeling even if I don't express what they are.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
fantastic.
In fact, I didn't even know that is unrealistic expectation. It took a
Okay.
long time for me to understand
Okay,
that.
okay.
No, yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Okay, who else? I really want you to look within and see what are your unrealistic expectations, which makes you get upset from time to time.
I'm the best.
That is not
In a
an
way,
expectation.
it is comparative in nature.
So this is an expectation from whom you're having?
From all those around me in a professional way.
That the expectation is what?
That I'm better than them.
No, that's an
That
expectation from yourself.
Yeah, my expectation from myself.
Is that I should always be better than everybody else.
Yes.
And if I'm not, then I'll get upset.
It triggers an upset.
Right. So I wonder how you would ever find out or get a feeling that you are not better than everyone else.
It comes from the ones which are around me, from their vibes, from their reactions.
Okay. But this one, can you see that this is a really highly unrealistic expectation that I should always be better than everybody else?
Sure.
Sometimes you may not. I get it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
as an aspirational thing, it's wonderful.
Yes. I
Like
got
if
it.
it is good, yeah, it's driving me to do better than others, that's wonderful.
Yeah. But when you
You
put
get
in
it?
the perspective of others around you,
Then you are setting
sometimes
yourself up for an upset,
triggers.
right?
Triggers.
Yeah. So the more interesting thing will be that when it triggers, what happens to you? So suppose you start thinking that fellow is better than me, okay, and your expectation is that he should not be, I should be better than him, then what is going to happen to you? Obviously, you will get upset.
Yes.
Yeah, but in this situation, who are you getting upset with? The other guy or with yourself?
So this is a mirror. It's basically with yourself, but you can associate with the other guy.
Okay, damn good.
Problem
Thank you
is
very much.
the problem is with me only.
Yeah, but do you notice that how sometimes we could take it out on the other person as well?
Precisely.
Question is, what is an unrealistic expectation? So let me give you an example. An unrealistic expectation can be, I make a mistake and people should not get angry with me. That is an unrealistic expectation. Okay. If I bang my head on the wall, I should not feel pain. That's an unrealistic expectation.
Correct.
Right? Or somebody may have an expectation, I should get money without doing any work. That will
Correct.
also be an unrealistic expectation.
Correct.
Right? Another unrealistic expectation can be, people should always praise me, whatever I do.
Correct.
So you just think of which is the unrealistic one which you may be having, which makes you upset. Yeah, so if you can't think of one right now, that's okay. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. A lot of people have this unrealistic expectation that my spouse should be like me. Thank God he's not like you, Baba. Yeah, differences complement each other rather than, but our expectation is that they should be like me. Yeah, no. Okay, maybe that's the reason you like them in the first place. Another unrealistic expectation can be that he or she should never get angry with me. Is it realistic to expect that they should never get angry with me?
No, I mean, that for anyone would be, they would need to be superhuman. So no.
Yeah, but people can get angry sometimes. It's fine, isn't it? All right, Pavan Kumar Reddy, you're very quiet today. Can you give us an example of your, unrealistic expectation that you may be having?
With the people, you help them and you expect the same way they have to help for you.
Okay, that is not very realistic. I get it. I used to have this one, I'm helping so many people and they are not going to help me.
Correct. This unfulfilled expectation, right?
Yeah, it's an unrealistic one. They may or they may not, right? Rajendra
Yeah.
Babu, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So,
Yeah.
Sukhdeepak, what I have commonly seen as a unrealistic expectation is that every man expects his wife to be like his sister or his mother, and every lady, every woman thinks that his husband should be like his brother. This is what I have closely observed.
अपनी बात करो मेरे दोस्त. What is your unrealistic expectation?
No, I'm authentic with myself and you all that since I have done landmark, उसके बाद में मेरा नजरिया change हो गया.
अरे आज की डेट में आपका unrealistic expectation क्या है?
आज की डेट में unreal, I don't think, I can't recall. मुझे वो, I mean, I don't have right now. I mean, it is not in my sight.
हाँ, but it's good to examine it, okay? Because it's a very nice. कभी-कभी we get upset, you know, and you start thinking and you say, oh my God, man, why am I expecting this? Nobody promised me this. Okay, so think about it. So I'm going to move on.
All right.
All right, Saurabh, आपका तो सुनना ही है मुझे. What is your unrealistic expectation?
Hi sir, my unrealistic expectation is like my wife makes me wake up very early in the morning, which I do not want. So I get up very angry on her.
Okay, now that is, I don't know, that falls in another category which I'll be talking about. आज की date में, what is your unrealistic expectation? You know that situation you're facing in your company right now, you think about it. Is it a realistic expectation or an unrealistic one? It is definitely an unfulfilled expectation. Can you see that?
Not getting your voice properly. Can you repeat it again?
I said that the situation that you are facing in your company, okay?
Yes.
You're very upset about it, isn't it?
Right.
To the point that you want to leave the job.
Agreed.
So can you see that you are experiencing a broken promise over there?
Yes.
They promise you certain incentive and then they don't pay up.
Right.
And it's an unfulfilled expectation also.
Both points are included into that.
Exactly. Now I also want you to think that what is the unrealistic expectation you have which is making you even more upset?
My unrealistic
Think about it. I lost your voice over there. Did you mute yourself or what?
Hello?
Yeah, now go ahead.
Unrealistic expectations are not as such, just I don't have like...
In that situation, okay?
Yes.
What could be, now it's like, abhi thoda guess karke dekho, what could be your unrealistic expectation which is making you more upset than you may be otherwise?
The expectation that they want that 100% work should be done, but in spite of paying, they are not ready to pay.
Yeah, isn't that an unrealistic expectation?
Yes.
Because I mean, any owner of a company will want that anyhow. And your expectation is that they should not be wanting it.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. See this, the cause of upsets always broken promise, unfulfilled expectation. And the third one is feeling blocked, you know, that you want to do something and you're blocked. They're not letting you do it. Like parents do a lot of this. They expect, you know, they're always giving orders to the children, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, right? So the child feels, child wants to do what he wants to do. Even as an adult, I want to do what I want to do. So if somebody is always stopping me from doing that, I'm going to be upset. Because a person, any human being, he wants his own self-determination. You understand? What is the self-determination? Something which I want to do. And they are trying to force me to do something else. Will it cause an upset or not? Determination blocked will be the cause of an upset. So a lot of parents can look into this because we tend to do that. So we say, oh, I have the good of my child. That is why I am telling him to do like this. Okay, the child should not suffer. I have seen the world. हमने दुनिया देखी है. हम बता रहे हैं ऐसे मत करो. But as a recipient of what you are saying, always blocking his self-determination, so the child shows rebellion by breaking things, getting into accidents, doing mischief and all sorts of things. So can you think of how you may be blocking somebody's self-determination? A lot of Indian husbands do that. They're always trying to tell their wife what they should do. And if they don't do it, they get angry and upset with them. Okay, so let's move on. So how do you deal with it? The best way to deal with upsets, now I have to condense it a little here. There's a lot of things to be said. First thing is, when there is an upset, what should you do? Cool down. So most of you have learned this technique. You know, the people who are in my masterclass get what you want. I've shown you a very simple technique. Kunain also referred to it earlier in the session today. You know, when you cool down and you release your upset, first thing which happens is clarity. Okay. So clarity will be, or what will be the clarity be? Am I upset because of someone's broken promise? Or other way around, is somebody upset because of my broken promise? Am I upset because of some unfulfilled expectation? Then I will ask myself a question, okay, did they promise me or I'm just expecting? Or is my expectation an unrealistic one? Or am I blocking someone? Or is someone blocking me? So the moment I've got clarity as to what is happening to me, don't you think it will give me an opening? Ki abhi mujhe kya karna chahiye? What should I do? Because when I'm upset and when I've cooled down, I can resolve that with the other person so that I'm not carrying any ill feelings towards them and they are not carrying any ill feelings towards me. That kind of a conversation, wo baat ab tab kar sakte hain, you can only do it when you have the clarity. So if you go through this template, you will have the clarity that what exactly is going wrong and what exactly should I deal with. So first thing is having the clarity. Second is communication. So you'll have to communicate with the intention that, okay, I am upset or you are upset. Let's, talk about it and resolve it. So when you have this communication, it is only questions that you can ask. What is the promise that I have broken? Okay. What was that expectation I have not fulfilled? So no blaming conversation. So if suppose somebody has broken a promise, there is no point blaming them for it. You can always say, okay, listen, a promise was made to me, you made a promise, and I was expecting that you'll fulfill it, and because you didn't, I got upset about it. Okay, so what should we do in future? So cool communication, that's a process of, resetting yourself or setting up. Number two, when you are in a position to have a conversation about it without an upset, you have released the upset and you're having a conversation with the other person about it, you're diminishing the hold of that upset on you and the other person. Okay, jo upset havi hota hai na, it's like that. Because it's there in the air between you and the other person or not. If you clear it up, then you can set up, okay, fine. Can we do something in the future? And you can, remove the additional significance that you are attaching to it. So you deal with the emotion and deal with the thought, and that's the end of the upset. So 1 hour is over, okay? I want to use another half an hour to take some live examples from you about some upset that you are dealing with so that I can help you to deal with them. So who would like to do that?
So can I say something?
Who is this? Rita.
Rita, yes. I'm so sorry. So the thing is, like, suppose I'm not able to have the communication. Suppose my boss or somebody elder to me who has said something, and I'm not able to like discuss the things with you. Okay, not at that moment. Maybe later on I'll be able to do it. But at that moment, the whole day is gone because I'm upset.
Okay, good. So Rita, haven't you learned the technique to deal with your feelings?
Yes, we are, but
Right. So now you notice that you are an upset. Now, is this a live example? So your boss has been, let us say, rude to you. Is it something like that?
yeah,
बदतमीजी से बहुत बात किया आपसे?
yeah, because suppose something it happens.
Okay. So now look at it. You are upset. So is it a broken promise? No.
No.
Because your boss never promised you that I'll always be polite to you. Did he promise you?
No, he never did that.
But it is an unfulfilled expectation, na?
Yes.
So what is the expectation? That people should be polite.
Yes.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But is it a realistic expectation? Because if people are upset or under pressure, they can be irritated and they can, under pressure get angry with you. Or if you have not done something which they want in a particular way, they can get angry with you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So suppose, let us say that I'm working for a boss and I make mistake, or I have done something which is not fulfilling his request.
Yeah.
So is it realistic of me to expect that he will not get angry with me?
No, but he will get angry. That's okay. But how do I deal with that?
Good. So when he got angry and you recognize that it is your unrealistic expectation that he should never shout at you, okay? Then you don't have so he's not the cause of your upset. Your expectation is the cause of the upset. Okay?
Yeah.
So the first thing you can start to do is stop blaming him.
Okay.
And you can deal with your feeling, na? Because what did we tell you that the emotion is a thought in the head and a sensation in the body.
Yeah.
You know the process. You remember I taught you all how to deal with that? Would you like to tell everybody how would you deal with it now that you know the technique? Do you remember it? It's okay. Tell me if you don't. I'll tell you now. Anybody who remembers it, you can do that exercise with her right now. So that will be practice for you. Hello? Anybody remembers that exercise?
Sir, is it the bubble one?
Yeah, the bubble one. Yeah, that's the one.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. You feel the feeling. Okay, and then you allow the feeling to expand like a balloon is expanding. And when it has expanded to the maximum, then what do?
Put a label.
Okay, this is not I. I'll put a label on it and say, this is not I. This is my creation. And you discreate it.
Yes.
Yeah, and you start practicing it, believe me, and many of you have practiced it. Just now even Kunan was saying that he has practiced it. You'll find that now you release your upset and you can now deal with it in a more rational way. The moment you release those feelings, there will be clarity, just like I told you, no? अगर बॉस को गुस्सा आएगा तो डांटेगा और वो डांटेगा तो मैं अपसेट फील करूंगी, नॉर्मल है, ठीक है? अभी अपसेट फील हो गया तो चलो उसको अपसेट को डिस्क्रिएट करो, नो पॉइंट ब्लेमिंग दैट फेलो. That is the meaning of clarity. Now I have explained to you the entire anatomy of an upset.
Yeah.
Why you get upset and all that. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So who's the next person? Let's have another. But now you can deal with it, na, Rita?
And I'm dealing with a lot many elders, like senior person we have in our family. I'm dealing with them as well. So it will help. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Sir, sorry, this is Krishna here. Sir, I didn't understand, sir. Can you please explain that? You said you will allow
Which one you did not understand?
You said you allow that to
the feeling to discreate, right? Now that is a technique you will learn. I am starting another master class on the 5th of July. Okay?
Okay.
So if you are interested in that, my phone number is there, 98100 78523. You can send me a WhatsApp message There is a free, first session is free. You can join the rest of it. By the way, how did you come on this meeting? Who invited you? Then I may be able to help you.
Yeah, my friend Rama invited me.
Okay, good. So Rama, can you do one thing? Can you teach him the technique?
Yes, sir, I will do.
No? So you can teach him how to get into the feeling, expand it and discreate it.
Yes.
Yeah, and it may be a good idea for you, Krishna, that if you can take out the time and join us on the 5th of July, 7 p.m.
Okay.
I will ask Krishna to share the link with you. You join us. And if you become a part of this 90-day program, 2 sessions every week, plus extras like this one, it will be a very good experience for you, a lot of learning. And Rama, please help him out. Okay, good. Next person.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Let's have some life examples. I can help you to deal with your upsets. Yeah. Who?
I had, sir. I faced lot of this in the workplace because of the implied promises or something.
Kirtana, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My bosses, they do to each and every new joining or something like this, they promise without any clarity, say something at the time of joining, and they come with me. The employees come to me like, no, I have been promised this. And when I go back to my boss and check, he said, no, I didn't say this. So I get usually stuck between all these, and
so who are you upset with?
Actually with both, sir. At least like with myself, like what's happening is, why do I always get this kind, I'll always be in between all these situations.
Okay. So now, okay. So who are you upset with? Yourself or with the situation?
With the situation, sir. And
let's see, one step at a time.
Okay.
So you're upset with the situation. Now, can you see that you may be having an unrealistic expectation there?
How unrealistic?
See, unrealistic in the sense, why are you upset with the situation? Because you don't want this kind of situation to happen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, is it realistic to think that this kind of situation should never happen?
Yes, sir. My boss, they can be like genuine, or at least give me the information or clarity while discussing that salary part. As I'm the HR, I should also be knowing. They say something else to me and something else to them.
Yeah, so that is something you can resolve by communicating with your boss, okay? And then he may agree to your request or he may not.
I did, sir. It's like what he comes up and says, no, I never said that. No, I never promised that way. How can I say
that's
that?
Fine. So it's okay. People tell lies also, no? So that is why I'm asking you, is it realistic of you to think that this kind of situation should never happen?
No, sir. Not.
It is not realistic, no?
Yes, sir.
This kind of situation will happen. And when it happens, we have to deal with it, no? See, for example, Kirtana, what has happened to you in your life, right?
Yes.
One can always say, no, you can get upset, oh, why it has happened to me, what wrong I have done. I have not done any wrong to anyone, and such a big punishment God has given to me, this and that, That would be an unrealistic expectation, isn't it?
Yes.
Because these kind of things can happen. I mean, it's normal. It's like, so still you will get upset. I'm not saying you're not. Every time it happens, you may feel that little upset. But if you are very clear, okay, these kind of things will happen, then you will be not that much upset.
Okay.
And you know the technique that whenever you feel upset, how you can deal with it. That you know already.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So it's always very useful to know what exactly is making it worse or what is causing it. Like you can see in your case, it may be an unrealistic expectation. Bosses should not do like this. Why this is always happening?
Or even like my colleagues or whoever have experienced that, they also at least should understand that it's not me who did it. They come and just yell at me or say things to me because they can't say to him.
Yeah.
So it's like I get in between.
Yeah, they will always come and take it out on the HR person. Ne?
Yes.
So that's a normal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that time you have to be like a sponge, and just take it. Okay, poor fellow, he's upset, he has to take it out somewhere, where he's going to take out. His promise has been broken to him. So he's going to be upset. Okay.
Yes.
And when people are upset, HR job is only that, no? To cool them down and listen to their problems and things like that. So when you understand these things, you can take it more in your stride, and it doesn't become worse. Like my son was talking to me today, oh, Papa, it's becoming too much. I can't take the pressure anymore, blah, blah, blah. So I said, hello, but you're getting something for that also, no? He said, yeah, I'm getting a very good salary. So I said, the pressure comes along with it, So if you're expecting it to not come, he said, no, Papa, I know, but right now I'm feeling very upset. So I did that discretion exercise with him, and then he was feeling okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the reason I did this session, to really understand what is the upset. And I'm more concerned about the, the ones which are subtle ones and the covert ones, which are, we don't even know it is happening in the background. It makes the life very difficult for everybody. Okay. All right. Anybody else? You have a live example that you'd like to talk about? Or by now you have understood how to deal with it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Nirmala here.
Yes.
Sir, I had a lumbar pain, sir. So I practice your technique, sir. It's now reduced. Pain reduced, sir.
How much percent reduced?
60% reduced, sir.
Wow, fantastic. No, without any medicines, huh?
Yes, sir. I did not walk even
before.
Speed. Yes, sir.
Now you can.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Congratulations.
I used a belt before, hip belt. Now not using, sir.
Wow, fantastic. Congratulations. Did you send your application?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Congratulations. Now the next step you have to do tomorrow. You're meeting your children tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Have a nice meeting with them. Okay, so who else? Anybody else who have a live example to talk about?
Yeah, so this is Pawan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before coming to this session around 8:30, I made a call to my family. My mom and sister both had some fight. Okay, I try to convince both, but they are not. They are not saying exact reason also.
Yeah.
I got little upset because I wanted them to be peace and be happy.
Yeah.
But I think this comes as a unrealistic expectation, right?
And also,
I realized after this, and I was upset. I have some work to do, but I couldn't concentrate for 25 minutes. So then I about to start work. Then again, I'm not able to concentrate. I thought, okay, let's stop the work. I came to session. That's why in the initial 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I was silent, just listening. Then after that, I realized whatever you said, right? Now it's okay.
Now, when you look at those two people who are fighting with each other, can you make out that what is the reason for that fight? Unrealistic expectation or unfulfilled, a broken promise, unfulfilled expectation, or a feeling of being blocked?
Unfulfilled expectation.
Whose expectation is not getting fulfilled?
Both. My mother wants my daughter to be like this, to this. My sister expects, no, my mother has to be like this. She has to support me like that. Both.
Exactly. Then, can you see that both may be having some unrealistic expectations? But more than that, can you see that the mother may be blocking your sister's self-determination?
Yeah, that's also.
Yeah? The sister wants to live her life in her way. Mother wants her to live the life the way she's saying.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
And the reason may be this one, that your sister is feeling thwarted and blocked. Okay, why is my mother trying to control my life?
Yeah.
Is she a grown-up sister?
Yeah. Okay.
Is she working?
No, she is final BTech, final year engineering.
Right. So I can understand what pressure your mother must be putting on her. So we'll not go into that.
Okay.
But can you see that you can always see, even if you are acting as a mediator, if you recognize that who is having which problem, see, mother will be having that should. She should listen to me. She is my daughter.
Yeah.
I am saying for her own good. How she cannot understand?
Yeah.
And daughter may be thinking, she doesn't know anything about me. I am studying. I want to do what I want to do. Why she is not letting me do what I want to do? Why she should always tell me, why she is interfering in my life? All that,
Yeah.
So once you understand that, you can be a very good mediator between them.
Yeah, but okay, if we take some time to do all these things, it's okay. But at that moment, we cannot take on any of that side, right? So I was just telling both
At
of
least you don't get upset in the middle of all that. Correct?
upset. Yeah, before this, I got upset for about 20 minutes. I said simply calm, stop doing work. Then I came to the session.
Yeah. So what you did now, you have resetted and you set up. You got off it.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Huh?
Yeah.
So at least you are in a better position to deal with them.
Yes, true. I got
And
it.
25 minutes you lost because of an upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God it's only 25 minutes. Sometimes it can be 2 days and 2 months also.
If it is not this session, then it might have taken because I attended a session, then I got to know which one. So I was
okay.